Don't allow yourself to be controlled by these five things.
The first is other people's opinions. So, other people's opinions can really affect how you live your life. Maybe you want to do something or try something, but other people say to you, you can't do this or have certain perspective. And it's only natural that you want to please the people around you. You want to seek their love and their approval and their acceptance. So you don't want to upset the status quo. So it's very easy to be swayed by other people's opinions. What do you think?
I think it's a bit tricky though. What in case your parents want you to study medicine and you want to be an actor? What do you do then?
Yeah, it's a very difficult situation because you don't want to disappoint them. You want people to be proud of you, but it can lead to a lot of mental health issues down the line when you can feel very trapped if you're doing something that's not true to yourself. In that circumstance, if you can't escape the situation and you can't convince your parents to allow you to pursue your dreams, don't give up on that dream. There are many doctors that have pursued their passions later in life. There's one person in particular that I remember is a comedian called Harry Hill, and he used to be a neurosurgeon. And when you watch his comedy, you would think this guy has been a comedian his whole life because he's very enthusiastic, he's very out there. But it's amazing to learn that he was a doctor. So don't give up on your passion, your interest.
Yes. Another thing you should not be controlled by is uncertainty. Because sometimes when we are uncertain, we actually don't move forward at all. We get stuck. And we are so overwhelmed by the uncertainty that we are afraid to take that leap of faith, afraid to try something new. Don't you feel that sometimes when you're uncertain, it can be like a stumbling block?
Yes, definitely. Because when you have that certainty, it gives you some comfort. You know you're on the right path and it can keep you motivated. But when you have uncertainty, you don't know how it's going to turn out. On one hand, it can give you a sense of excitement because it's like an adventure. But then there's also the reality. If it's not going to work out, what am I going to do? So it's very natural to feel anxious if you don't have that certainty.
So when you are feeling uncertain, make sure to actually look at your situation holistically and to think about possible ways to move forward. How can you move forward? For example, just say you didn't get into the university of your dreams. Now, can you find an alternate university? Do you need to move cities to get to the universities that you want to be in? Do you have to move countries? Do you have the finances to back that up? Always have plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. It helps you when you're dealing with uncertainty to have other plans in place if your initial plan does not materialize.
And even if all the plans blow up and get destroyed, have that certainty within yourself that you're able to find a way, you're able to make a plan and be resourceful.
Yes, I think that's really helpful.
Number three is don't let your life be controlled by your age. Live a life that you want to, live your best life regardless of your age. If you have a passion, if you have an interest that you want to pursue, or even an activity, maybe you want to take up surfing when you're 60, don't let age be a deterrent to your dreams and what you want to do.
But what about ageism? People may say, I want to do this, but there's ageism.
I think that's like the elephant in the room, and I think it exists in a lot of industries. For example, in programming, in computer programming, a lot of programmers are young or in their 20s or their 30s. If you wanted to learn programming at 60 or 70, it may look down upon. And this is This could be because of the amount of effort and hours that you're putting in. So if you're younger, the company knows we can make you work harder, we can work you to the bone. But when you're older, you have the ability to push back a little bit more. But I think it comes down to if you can do the job or not, because an older person may have more of a passion, they could offer more insight, they could have a different take on a problem or the job. So you have the level of training that's needed. It may take a long time, but if you have that interest and that passion, you can achieve something regardless of your age.
And on the flip side, it's also never too early to start something. For example, I know a young girl and she started her business when she was 9 years old. And we know that there are like people like Justin Bieber, he was putting out YouTube videos, I think when he was 11 or 12. So people also shouldn't tell you
Yeah.
too young to
That's
pursue your dreams.
that's really interesting, because if you had someone who was very young and was a director or a CEO, he may not receive, or he or she may not receive the same recognition if they were older.
Yes. So age, don't let yourself be controlled by your age. And another thing that you should not let your life be controlled by is your health. For example, just say you have poor health. I know it can be very difficult, obviously, when you have poor health to even sometimes get out of bed and do things. But you can take small steps to be out in nature, to maybe literally take a few steps outside, to enjoy that sunlight, that fresh air. Because sometimes when we feel sick or we are in poor health, we tend to just want to be in bed and not do anything. What do you think of health being something that a lot of people, their lives get controlled by? Because, we know that some people just, they stay stuck in their house. They don't actually leave home sometimes.
Yeah, I think having that growth mindset really helps. And having the growth mindset, it's a skill, it takes practice, you have to keep working at it, but you can see it as a fun thing. So if you change your brain to think about how can I improve the quality of my life, what can I do? So you're asking your brain, what can I, even though you may be physically sick and you're unable to do the things that you could do 10 or 20 years ago, what small things can I do to improve the quality of my life? Having a good support network is really important with that. If you don't have it physically, you could have it online, you could have it virtually. You could look for support groups, even on social media, that are very positive. So social media has that negative aspect, but there is also a positive aspect. That's why it's called social media. So you can find groups, support groups that can help you, that can be supportive. Maybe they're going through the same thing. So taking those small steps can be really, really beneficial.
Yes, I mean, even if you are diagnosed with something really terrible, like something like cancer, which is so painful, right? I mean, I know of people who were diagnosed and their health obviously was poor because they're going through chemotherapy, etc. But they continued to do a bit of exercise to get their minds off the cancer, and it helped them greatly. So when you are in poor health, or maybe not even poor health, but maybe your health is not as good as what you'd like it to be, don't think that you should just give up on your health. You can take those small steps, and sometimes when you take those small steps, it encourages you to stay on that path of trying to be healthier. And when you are healthier physically, it really helps you emotionally and mentally as well. And sometimes you have to create healthy habits.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes you don't feel it until you've taken those small steps, and then you feel better afterwards. So you need that support network. Even if, for example, if you're elderly and if there are support groups or activities you can do at a that are run by local groups, having that social interaction makes you feel better afterwards. So I think, it's natural not to feel good before you're doing something because it's going outside of your comfort zone. And having that support gives you that bit of push. Number 5 is limiting beliefs. Now, your beliefs about yourself dictate your whole existence, your whole life. If you believe you can do something, you probably can, because you're going to overcome any obstacles that are in your way and look for opportunities. Your mind is fine-tuned to look for ways that you can improve your life. But if you have these limiting beliefs that I cannot do something, I'm no good at this, to overcome this, you can look for professional help. There's things you can try like CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, which can seek to challenge these limiting beliefs. Now, if you look at the word limiting, so if you go to a certain point, now you cannot go above that. But there are so many situations in life where you can smash through those limiting beliefs. And it's only until it's done, then you believe, now I can do it. But to have that consistent belief before that, it takes regular practice and belief in yourself. Now, what do you think about limiting beliefs?
I think that it can be very damaging because you may want to pursue so many dreams and you don't have the self-confidence in order to take those initial steps. So I think positive self-talk is very helpful in limiting your limiting beliefs, because at the end of the day, when you become more confident about who you are and what you can achieve, then you have a mindset of abundance, which is the opposite of having limiting beliefs. And sometimes you may think, but I just can't see myself there. I can't see myself as being somebody who's running their own business or somebody who is going to the gym even once a week. But it all starts with your mind. It really, really does. So if you'd like to know more, I have created a video about positive self-talk. Have a look at that. Thank you for watching this video. Let us know what are some of the things that you feel like your life should not be controlled by. Do comment and like, share and subscribe. We're a new channel and we appreciate your support. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.